I am on the janitorial team that was sanitizing our public school buildings during the cancellations last week. Monday I arrived for my first day and I was tackling an auditorium. It was no secret that schools were closed. It was on the news, there were signs on the doors, I think the city even sent the text alert about it to anyone signed up for municipal notifications. And the school absolutely sent emails. But as I'm beginning to clean, with my cart and my janitorial uniform, a woman comes in with two kids, 5 and 7-ish. I say hi, I'm sorry, the school is closed for the rest of the, and she cuts me off and says yeah, I know, but this is the daycare service right? No. What? No. I'm just a member of the cleaning crew. Well, where's the daycare? There. What? I don't think there is one, we're sanitizing every room today. You could go to the office and ask, but I didn't see anyone in there, it's really just us. Oh great, so you're in charge. I'll be back at 2:15? Right? I'm not in charge of anything. You'll need to go to the office, or probably, go home actually. I don't think there's any kind of service. What are you talking about? They wouldn't just cancel school without a daycare service for working parents. Where's your boss? My boss is also a janitor, trust me, they cannot help you. Now at this point the kids had begun to run around the gym, which meant I'd have to sanitize whatever they touched. So I said, more firmly, you need to go, I'm not supposed to let people in here during cleaning. At this point I wasn't sure if she was messing with me or if she really didn't know. She seemed busy, she had a cell phone in one hand and no hands on the kids. Without looking up she says, well, you should have cleaned before the kids started to arrive, shouldn't you? I'm starting to wonder if I'm the crazy one at this point. There are no kids arriving. I'm cleaning. The school is closed. I know school is closed. That's why I'm leaving them in the daycare. And just like that, she was off. I was calling after her, hey, excuse me. Lady. You cannot leave kids in here. I didn't know what to do about it, so I took the kids to my boss and asked what we needed to do. The boss said so they just left these kids here. Why didn't you tell her the school was closed? Who doesn't know that by now? I explained that I did tell her and she either was so checked out she didn't understand or she chose to ignore me. So the boss said this is all way too risky. We can't keep an eye on them and there are dangerous products and who knows why she left them here. We don't need this problem. Better call whoever you call about kids with no one to watch them. Cops? We also had one of the janitors trying to get a name and number off the kids but they didn't really know. But we have a few undocumented immigrants on the crew and a couple others who would have just been nervous to have cops buzzing around the workplace, so we googled it and ended up calling a child services hotline. Ultimately a social worker came, and with cops, but they didn't bother anyone though, just focused on the kids. The cops went through the kids' bags and found their last name on a school binder and found a number to call. They got the kid's father who was irate. They had the conservation on speakerphone so I caught bits and pieces. What do you mean, they're where? Aren't schools closed? And he was there within 10 minutes. I guess he called his wife for an explanation during that time because she arrived not too soon afterwards. The cops and social worker were lecturing them and the woman was like, I left them with a childcare worker in the drop-off area. And they reiterated there was no daycare and they had no idea what she was talking about. So to that point, I thought okay, I guess she's just really, really dumb. Then the cops let them go with a warning about understanding where they're leaving their kids and with whom. But as they were leaving the woman sneered at my boss, was it really such a big deal that you had to call the police? So, now I wonder whether she was trying to pull a fast one on us or if she was just that stupid. The world may never know. but I still laugh at the story. Nope, she's not dumb, she's a piece of shit who knew you weren't a childcare worker and wanted to abandon her kids anyway. Absolutely this. There was another post in this sub about the similar thing where who actually did watch kids at a daycare was having this lady basically yell at her kids to stay there. Guy was like, well, people pay for this and you didn't. I only brought enough snacks for the kids that are already here, and the woman tried to just dip the fuck out, like actually tried running away, while Op was like, WTF mate, I'm gonna call the cops, and she eventually came back, again with an attitude. Edit changed him to Op, because after a reading realized that I could be wrong about their pronoun. I saw a story recently like this where the mom would leave her kid at a comic book store all day. One day, she basically told the guy working that she'd be there at 6 when they closed at 5, something like that, anyway, and refused to acknowledge that the guy was not a daycare service and he was off work at 5. I think he did end up calling the cops after she didn't show up for hours. Parents are shitty people, and I honestly think most of them are people who had kids entirely too young, not with the right people, or on accident. It sickens me how people treat children. We had something similar when I worked at a grocery store. A guy left his daughter sleeping in the car when he went into the store to pick up a prescription. Problem was, he showed up 30 minutes before pharmacy opened. Co-workers spotted the child, told the guy to get his kid, and he completely ignored her. So the cops were called. The guy had the nerve to threaten my co-worker in front of the cop. Cop told him he should be thanking her for him not leaving in handcuffs, and his daughter going to foster care. Ever since the news started talking about children dying in locked cars. In Florida, their state law says anyone can just break the window to rescue a kid or pet, and the owner of the car is automatically in trouble with the law. Kind of national news in America a few years back. Sure, but there are huge swaths of America that are much more temperate than Florida. It's more a regional thing, really. And it could get quite hot up north too. 104 degrees doesn't sound too temperate in CT. But even when it's 70 outside, it can get to well over 100 inside the car. Not to mention people stealing cars, kidnappers, and earthquake hitting. There are a lot of reasons young children shouldn't be left alone. I was raised in the southern USA. I distinctly remember being left alone in the car many times, usually while my single-parent mom shopped for groceries. Once, I remember that she had parked our ancient 1970s manual shift Toyota on an incline, put it in gear, and gone inside, leaving me. Now as a 9-year-old I had some small knowledge of the car, as I had to hold down the clutch and start it in the morning while she did something under the hood. I don't know what I was doing, maybe bopping to music, but I remember bumping the gear shift and knocking it into neutral. It began to roll backwards into cross traffic. I noticed right away, panicked, grabbed the shifter, and jammed it back into gear. Thankfully it worked, and the car had only rolled maybe a foot.